Good morning. Welcome to Old Man Energy. I'm your host, Flint Anderson. Today we're going to be talking about taking massive action. In today's world, we have a lot of fear out there, and a lot of people seem to be hesitating and waiting. Whether that's on your goals, whether that's on your fitness, whether that's on relationships, doesn't matter. We operate from a position of fear most of the time. The sad part about this is that we think we have an unlimited amount of time, and we just don't. We have to do things now. We have to move forward and we have to make things happen. If we sit around waiting on permission or the time to be right or any of that stuff, whatever trope you want to insert there, it doesn't matter. It's never going to happen. It's never going to come around. Taking massive action doesn't happen because it's intimidating. It's uncomfortable. It means we have to do a lot of things. And sometimes it's overwhelming, but it's always worth it. Um, Alex Ramosi talks about if he gets intimidated or upset about something or what have you, he talks about being realizing that he's just a monkey on a rock. And in 3 generations, it's not going to matter. And so then he uses that as his lever to push himself forward to go ahead and do whatever he needs to do, whatever's making him uncomfortable. I really like that thought. It seems a little fatalistic, but at the same time, it does drive home the point of memento mori that every day we are getting closer to the end of time. And the more we wait, the less time we have to do things. The great thing about this is that with applied action and significant, consistent implementation, then we can accomplish things a lot faster than we imagine. It's never too late for any of this stuff to happen. But what's the difference in working on something small and working on something large? And this is the piece that folks don't sit back and think about. If you set a very large goal for yourself and you need to take some massive action to make it happen, it's pretty much the same exact amount of effort as if you were going to work on something small or something, a lesser goal. It just has a different outcome because you're applying different tasks to it. So, how do you specifically move forward and take massive action? Well, one, you need to know what that massive action is. You need to know what it is that you want, what it is you're going to do, whatever you need to do. Sometimes we're forced to do things we don't want to do. And sometimes we can use that power to choose to have those same actions that we're forced to do whenever we're backed into a corner and move forward. A good buddy of mine talks about his wife asked him after a couple of either business failures or bad investments or what have you. She asked him, why do you always take massive action or wait to take massive action until you're backed into a corner, until you've failed? You know, you are allowed to do that whenever you're succeeding, whenever things are going well, too, right? So figure out what it is you want and then figure out what you need to do to get there. What do you need to do tomorrow? What do you need to do the next day? What do you need to do the next day? And here's the big one. And this, I want you to remember this: 80% and finished is better than perfect and incomplete. Focus on speed, not perfection. Focus on doing things quickly, on getting as much done in as little amount of time as you can. Worry about polishing it up later. Get the action in place, get the momentum rolling, get your head in the game, and get yourself moving forward. Doing that will allow you to fix things. It's kind of like sitting in a car, starting the car, turning the wheel, you're ready to go, you're turning, you're steering, but if you don't ever put the car in gear, well, then it doesn't matter. You're not ever going to go anywhere. So remember those analogies. Start moving forward. Start doing the things that are comfortable, but also start doing the things that are uncomfortable. And you'll find very quickly that they become much easier to do whenever you get used to them. Commit 100%. We hear this all the time. You got to burn the ships, burn the boats. That makes sure that we have to win because there's no way to go home. Mentally, you have to do this to be all in and to take massive action. You have to make yourself utterly accountable for everything. I don't even know a better way to say that. I'm trying to come up with something besides burn the boats because that seems to be an overused trope and I don't like that. But realistically, don't leave yourself a plan B. Just go for it. At worst case scenario, you end up doing what you're doing right now. Best case scenario, you have created something that you now get to do what it is you wanted to do. Those are really the only two options. You have to create a sense of urgency. And I'm not talking about a false sense of urgency. I'm talking about you have to do this now. You have to make it happen. There are things coming that you have no idea what they are. There will never be a better time, and there will never be a better opportunity for you than what you have right now in front of you. If something else comes up in the future, you'll know you'll still be there, but you can't depend on that and you can't wait for that. You have to take what you have now, create a sense of urgency about doing it now, about putting every piece in the puzzle as fast as you can. And sometimes this means adding things to what you're doing, and sometimes it means removing things, doing things that waste time, doing things that don't contribute to the greater good. And I'm not just talking about business, I'm talking about personal goals, I'm talking about relationships, I'm talking about physical fitness. Does not matter. Whatever you create your sense of urgency about, you need to do everything you can as quickly as possible. Eliminate as many distractions as possible. You don't really need to sit there and watch TV at night. You don't really need to go to the game. You don't need to watch the games all day on Sunday. If you really want to take massive action and you want to move forward as fast as possible, look at what is in your life that is taking away from moving forward, that is taking your time. And you know what? Some people say, oh, I don't want to work all the time, this or that. Maybe you're not ready to take massive action yet. Because if you're going to take massive action, you're going to make some sacrifices and you have to eliminate some distractions. There's just no two ways about it. You're going to have to give up some of the stuff you want in the short term to have everything you want in the long term. This is true in any one of your four pillars: your life, your body, your business, your mind. It does not matter. This is going to make you insanely uncomfortable. That's okay. Get used to it. Get used to living in a state of discomfort. The more you do, the more out of control you're going to feel, the more uncomfortable it's going to be. And the thing is, if you don't do it, then something's going to come along in life and make you uncomfortable. You're going to end up doing the actions anyway. You'll just be behind the eight ball instead of ahead of it. But you can always stop that and reverse that trend by taking personal accountability, even if you're in the middle of a shitstorm, for lack of a better term. You can take personal accountability for what you're doing and what you need to do. Focus on your goals and run. Yeah, you might have extra obstacles to overcome because of choices you made in the past. So what? It's your story. It's not anybody else's. You got to work a little harder than somebody else. Okay. Nobody really cares. It doesn't really matter in the end, because in the end, you get what you want. You're good to go. Well, what if you fail miserably? Well, get up and you do it again. Get up and you do it again. Don't ever stop. There's infinite shots on goal until we die. And when we're dead, we don't care about it anyway. So there's nothing ever stopping you. There's the quote is that you cannot stop, you cannot defeat a man who will not quit. All you have to do to take massive action is develop a sense of urgency, implement your plan every single day, and do it repeatedly, no matter how hard or uncomfortable it is. If you have to make some adjustments, if you have to tweak what you're doing, that's fine. Do your review. Don't hesitate. Okay, that didn't work. Let's do this. Adjust quickly and move on. Now, here's the piece that kills a lot of dreams and a lot of success that people could have had. And that's people around us. And sometimes this comes from the people closest to you not believing in you or not being on board with what you're doing, or the trolls on the internet or the haters or whatever you want to call them. They will try and hold you back. This is the crabs in a bucket theory. I've said it several times. You can go look it up if you want, but understand their opinion of you is just based on your actions. It doesn't matter that whether you're succeeding or winning or whatever. Who cares what their actual opinion of you is? Because they're not living your life. They're not responsible for your family. They're not responsible for your weight. They're not responsible for any of that. But it's real easy to sit back, play armchair quarterback, and pick apart something that everybody else is doing or that somebody else is doing, especially someone who's trying to get ahead of them. Because this is not about you. Them attacking you, trying to pull you down, trying to slow you down, trying to stop you is all about them. It's a mental illness almost. I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm not a doctor. That's just a figure of speech, meaning that they would rather see somebody else fail so they don't have to try any harder than to see somebody succeed and be happy for them and admit the fact that they're not doing what they need to do. So, what you want to call that mental illness? You want to call that just being contrary? I don't know. I don't really care. It looks like mental illness to me. So, the other thing is you need to put yourself in a headspace of what your success looks like. You can write this down. You can go look at it. You can go smell it. You can touch it, feel it, whatever. But Dream about what you are going to do when you're successful and do it daily. Think about it. This is what keeps the energy going. This is what keeps you going when you're exhausted. This is what will move you forward when everything else seems like it's falling apart. Make sure your vision is clear. Make sure you visit it daily. Take massive action. Let me know in the comments, let me know in the messages what you're doing now to take massive action. Just released a book for those of you that are in business. You can get that in the link below in the comments. It's on networking success. I've taken 20 years of my networking success and how I've built my businesses, distilled it down into something you can read in less than an hour and implement immediately. No learning curve. So see if you can pick that up. Maybe that'll help. Um, Give us a like, follow social media. Make sure you subscribe to this channel or wherever you happen to listen to us. Thank you guys. Share it with your friends. Love y'all.